Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Pro Tier. Tonight they are doing a redemption format sprint race with a 36 lap Grand Prix. So the way this works is based on points. It is reverse grid order based on where you are starting in, based on where you are in the point standings. We are taking on the 4.309 kilometer circuit. It's got 15 corners and 2 DRS zones. Very tricky sector 2, and this is Interlagos Autodrome Jose Carlos Pace in Brazil. I am the Johnny Damon, and I am your host, or your commentator tonight. And I'm going to bring up the point standings as it will be signifying how all the drivers will be starting. So if you start first, you will be starting, or if you are first in the points, you will be last on the grid for the sprint race. So at the top of the point standings, we got Feeney leading the points with 153. Silos in second with 129. LB the Goat in third with 126. Comacopa fourth with 116. Raptor KK is in fifth with 92. Bongit sixth with 83. Mr. Miller 70 points and seventh. Asmanian Devil in eighth with 66. Peak Hour ninth with 56. Like Me or Not with 37 points, rounding out your top 10. SP in 11th with 34. DeBoonster with 34 in 12th. And Natural also tied with 34 for 11th as well. Abdul in 13th with 31 points. Cello 29 points in 14th. LK 15th with 29 points. And then you also got IRZ tied with 29 points as well. Matthew in 18th with 27. TMM Racing with 21. And GC Adventure with 19 points. So once again, based on where you are in the point standings, that is going to be your starting be a starting position for the sprint race. So if you're first in the points, you will be starting in last. In regard to the Constructors' Championship, we have Haas at the top with 209 points. Mercedes in second with 158. Red Bull in third with 157. McLaren fourth with 149. Aston Martin in fifth with 145. Visa Cash App Red Bull in sixth with 111. Alpine in seventh with 104. Kick Sauber in eighth with 71. Williams in ninth with 61. And Ferrari will round out your 10th place with 50 points. Should be an interesting Grand Prix or sprint race Grand Prix here as everybody is looking to get ready to roll. They're going to have some time to put their setups in, and then we should be going to green flag in the sprint race. So I do look forward to calling the action here tonight. There is a good chance of some potential rain here in Interlagos, as it makes for an even more tricky race. It looks like we're actually going to have a dry sprint race. Not sure what the Grand Prix will be, but we are loading up. It's going to be a few minutes so everybody can get their setups in, get their strategy into play, and then we can get rolling. There is a lot of corner names here that I might butcher. If that does happen, I apologize in advance. But I do know some of them. Thank you for tuning in, folks. So it's just going to be a few minutes. Everybody is going to be looking to get their setups in, their tire strategy, their fuel, and we will start the redemption format for the sprint race Once again, if you are in first place in the standings, you will be starting from the back of the grid for the sprint race. And then for the Grand Prix, it is based on where you finish in the sprint. That will be your starting position for the 36 lap Grand Prix. Alright, folks, we got 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out and away we go. We're going to jump on board. It looks like TMM Racing got a great jump with Matthew right behind him on our way down into turn 1. IRZ's going to try and hang it around the outside on Matthew now through the inside of turn 2. Off for Curve de Sols down the first main straight here. And it looks like TMM's got a great jump all the way down into turn 4. Raptor KK's making a move, peak hour around the outside of Like Me or Not, and he's going to take that 6th place position. Silos and Feeney working their way through the grid pretty quickly here already on the start of the Grand Prix, as we're now making our way up through, looks like turn 5 and 6, or now through 7, 8, and 9, as we're going to be heading back up into turn 10. And it looks like the booster up into that P3 position. A little bit of contact made here in the middle of the grid. Osmanian Devil is looking to try and take advantage. Peak hour side by side with the Natural. And Natural's going to hang it down through the inside. Osmanian Devil's looking around the outside off the exit of the final corner. Down the long start-finish straight here as we're making a run towards turn 1. Osmanian Devil goes a little wide here defending off Comacopa. But now Comacopa's going to make it 3 abreast down into turn 1. And it looks like Natural's going to back out of that, and Osmanian's going to come out on top. Silos and Feeney still battling side by side here as they're both fighting for the championship up at the top of the standing. And SP, unfortunately, has already DNF'd here in the sprint race. Komakopa and Osmanian Devil through turn 4, side by side. Now back up the hill we go. And it looks like Osmanian Devil's going to defend them off right through turn 4. Peak Hour peeking down to the around the outside of IRZ, and he's going to jump up into that P4 position. Matthew up at the top, fighting along with DeBoonster here for the lead on lap 2. We are going to get DRS on the main straight here as it has been activated, and it looks like we still got some more battling going on here in the midfield as Komakopa, Osmanian Devil are looking to attack on IRZ. Back up to the front though as DRS is activated. DeBoonster's going to go around the outside and take over the lead down into turn 1. Osmanian Devil trying to make a move on IRZ, and down to the inside he goes into the braking zone. Up into that P5 position, a little bit of contact made between the McLaren and the Aston Martin there off the exit of turn 1. Feeney is dropping through the grid. He is down into that P13 position. Peak Hour does make his way around the Ferrari of TMM Racing, and here comes Osmanian Devil as well. He's looking to jump above into that P4 position on the Ferrari. And through the first 3 laps, we had a lot of exchanges going on, and into turn 8, now through the SA of turn 9. I'm going to head back up the hill into turn 10. Very tricky braking zone here. Osmanian Devil with a late dive down into the inside. And he got some rear locking, but he did extend into that P4 position. The Osmanian Devil has moved up inside the top 5, and he's looking to now put the attack heading towards Peak Hour in front. IRZ and Komakopa, the 2 Aston Martin teammates, are they going to be looking to potentially swap positions here into turn 1, but Osmanian Devil is under attack from TMM, and TMM is going to give him a little push to the outside. Now side by side through turn 2, still TMM and Osmanian Devil, and it looks like TMM is going to potentially come out on top, but who's got the DRS? The Ferrari does, and here comes Komakopa down through the inside, 3 abreast into turn 4, and it looks like we're going to have TMM and Osmanian Devil still 3 abreast, and now TMM is going to back out, let IRZ and Osmanian Devil battle it out. But TMM puts himself back into the picture, and Osmanian Devil lost another position down into the P6. Raptor KK in Silos battling with the Natural here through turn 9, up the hill into turn 10. Osmanian Devil down through the inside of turn 10 once again. He's going to open up that door to allow Komakopa to potentially get around the outside into turn 12. Off the exit we go. Now down the start-finish straight. 3-second time penalty for Feeney here as he's up in that P9 position. Down the start-finish straight here. Silo has lost a few positions as well. Raptor KK is going to be working his way around TMM Racing in the Ferrari, and he's going to jump up into that P7 position. So now he's moved up, and he's looking to get some more points here. Osmanian Devil is outside of a second of the DRS. 2 IRZ in front of him. He is under a lot of pressure from Komakopa. Natural is going to go down to the inside of LB the Goat, and he's going to cede for that P9 position. But here comes Silos. He was looking for it as well to jump inside the top 10 here of the sprint race. Not even halfway through, and we got a lot of action going on here in the redemption format, and it looks like LB the Goat is going to be able to hang on to that P10 position for the time being. Osmanian Devil's finally gotten within DRS of IRZ in front of him, but is it going to be enough to hold off Komakopa, who's less than 4/10 behind here, going for the top 5 position on the McLaren? And here comes Komakopa. He's using some battery, got right up to the back of the McLaren, but he's not able to get a good enough run down into turn 1. Feeney has overtaken. IRZ has gone around, unfortunately, off the exit of turn 1. and Feeney and Silos are both battling your two top points leaders. Komakopa was able to get by the McLaren of Osmanian Devil, using the DRS to his advantage down into turn 4, and now they're 4 seconds off the back of peak hour. Natural looks like he might have made a mistake off the exit of 4, and yes he did. That did force, like me or not, to take evasive action, and he went off the circuit and took out a couple number boards. As we are heading through the tricky Sector 2, I know I have not brought up a track map. It's wild. This far into the Grand Prix, we're nearly halfway full, or halfway there, and here comes Feeney, LB the Goat, and Silos all battling for position here. Like me or not, just kind of trailing off in the back. TMM Racing in that P8 position, under a lot of pressure from the Red Bull behind him of LB the Goat. Off the exit, is going to open up the DRS, goes through the inside. Is Silos looking for it? Yes, he is. Is Feeney going to go for it down into turn 1? And indeed he does. TMM Racing has lost 3 positions there down the start-finish straight. Now Silos is going to have a great run off of Curve del Sol, and he got the DRS on LB the Goat. Heading toward turn 4, he's going to jump down into the inside, side-by-side action between the two, and it looks like Silos is going to continue to fight his way, but there is some wing damage on the Red Bull in front of him, and it looks like the Red Bull is going to go a little wide. Is Silos going to attempt to move down into the inside? No, he is not. He's going to follow right behind here through turn 9. Back up the hill we go into turn 10. That door is wide open from LB the Goat. Silos was able to tuck it down to the inside, but not enough to make the move. Osmanian Devil is going to have the DRS on Komakopa here as we're heading down the start-finish straight here to complete lap 7 for these folks into turn 1. Osmanian Devil down into the inside of the Aston Martin, was able to outbrake him and jump into that P4 position. Feeney is looking for a 2-for-1 special there on the start-finish straight. He was able to get by Komakopa, or by LB the Goat and Silos, to move himself into that P7. But here comes Silos. He's looking to fight down back through the inside, heading towards turn 4, and he's going to be able to jump into that P7 position and hold him off. Komakopa was able to get by Osmanian Devil through turn 4 up the hill into turn 6, and now we're making our way through 9. Feeney with another 3-second time penalty. That's going to be his second one of the sprint race here, so he is going to have 6 seconds in penalties. He will have to find a way to extend that gap from the Mercedes, and as he's got quite a bit of train right behind him. Peak Hour is going to get the DRS on Matthew here. The booster has checked out for the lead of the sprint race, and now Peak Hour is looking to attack on Matthew into turn 1, but not far enough alongside. Osmanian Devil going down to the inside, still side by side with the Aston Martin through Curve del Sol, and it looked like Osmanian Devil got a little loose there. That's going to allow Raptor KK to also take advantage of it. He's going to go down the inside of Komakopa down into turn 4, and he moves himself into that P4 position. So a great run by Raptor. Komakopa is now sitting in that P5 position, still fighting to hold off Osmanian Devil, and Silos has gotten through up into that P7 position, and Komakopa and Osmanian Devil are still fighting. Raptor has gone around in turn 7 through 8. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Maybe some contact, maybe not. But Silos is now going to be on the attack around the outside. And he's now through the inside. Is he going to be able to jump up into that P6 position? No, he's not. Raptor's going to defend him off into the almost penultimate corner. Peak Hour is overtaken down through the inside of Matthew, and he's going to jump into that P2 position. Komakopa and Osmanian Devil still fighting. Osmanian Devil through the inside of turn 1, and here comes Feeney. Feeney with that front wing damage. Some contact made between him and Silos there in turn 1, and that has forced Feeney to go around Komakopa and Osmanian Devil through turn 4, And it looks like a little bit of a squeeze there, but both of them were able to keep their cars within the track limit. Matthew up into that P3 position, still trying to fight to hang on to a podium spot here on lap 10. Comacopa still sitting in that P4 position inside the top 5. Started from nearly the bottom of the grid, working his way through, and he's had himself a great race so far here for the 12-lap sprint. And as he's trying to extend his gap over Osmanian Devil, who's 6.5 tenths behind him, they've been swapping positions every single lap, and this long start-finish straight is going to allow them to do it once again if Osmanian Devil can get that run. And Raptor KK goes around once again, and he's dropping through the grid. Osmanian Devil around the outside of Comacopa into turn 1, and he is going to jump back into that P4 position. Really not much going on besides the battle here between Peak Hour and Matthew through turn 4, and Comacopa side by side with Osmanian Devil. Both of them giving each other plenty of space there as we're making our way through turn 5. Up the hill through turn 6 into turn 7 and 8. And now Comacopa is going to continue to hold off Osmanian Devil as we're making our way to get ready to start the final lap. The Boonster comes across the line 8.2 seconds out front, and he has pulled away from the rest of the grid as we got Matthew and Peak Hour still fighting for P2 and P3 here to remain on the podium. Comacopa has gained a lot of time on these folks in front, as he's nearly 2.5 seconds off the rear diffuser with the final lap in play. Bonga made his way by IRZ. Osmanian Devil's down through, and he's back up into that P4 position. Goes a little wide there, but no penalty off the exit of 4. As we continue to make our way through Sector 2 with the 16 cars on the grid, and Feeney with another 3-second time penalty. That is going to give him 9 seconds in penalty. That will most likely drop him outside the top 10. Osmanian Devil is looking to hang on to this P4 position, but Comacopa might be conserving some battery as we're getting ready to head back towards the start-finish line. DeBoonster has taken the checkered flag, and it looks like Matthew's going to come in P2. And Osmanian Devil will be able to defend off Comacopa and come home in P4 as Comacopa looks at 5th place in the sprint. Silos in 6th. LB the GOAT is most likely going to drop to 8th, like me or not, in 7th. Feeney's going to come across in that P9, but he drops down to P10. And it looks like TMM Racing right behind is going to come across the line as well. And he will stay P11 with Chef behind him in 12th. Bonga in 13th. IRZ's making his way towards the line. And Natural is as well. And that will be your starting order for the order of the sprint, or the Grand Prix, the 36th lap Grand Prix here in Interlagos. So it will be a few minutes here as everybody is getting ready to get their Grand Prix strategies into play for 36 laps here at Alright, so we are again do a lobby restart as the grid did not get formed properly based on the finishing positions of the sprint race, so we're jumping into a new lobby.